Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Talented T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan, he's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And we're going to continue talking about senior dogs. Danny snowed in. You'll never get out of your house up there. I just can't believe you had over 2 feet of snow at this time of year, but the Dakotas are different than the Massachusetts. In fact, it was 70 here yesterday. And I'm in the middle of that whole laundry thing where you wash every blanket and things on your bed. And yesterday when we were doing yard work, the first appearance of a you-know-what, because I can hardly say the name without cringing. And in fact, I'm so terrified I got hives all over my body after seeing it yesterday. A snake appeared in one of the piles of mulch near the end of our yard work. And so that critter is now living in one of my flower beds that I actually maintain and weed, but I will never go out there again. I will never touch it again until someone catches it and moves it, or if it falls in front of the lawnmower. So today we're going to continue talking about senior pets. So one of the things people ask me a lot about senior pets is exercise, because they themselves may be seniors and they have the idea that, oh, the arthritis is acting up, he doesn't want to go out, he doesn't want to walk, I'm not going to move him, he sleeps all day. But in fact, even my mom's geriatric schnauzer, who is 15 and standard sized, needs walks. And if not walks, a little amble around the yard. And it's going to be nice today and sunny in the Dakotas. Oh my God. No, you know what? I can't do it. And we don't know how we do this every day either. Tristan used to run down and sit by the chair. Now I have to coax him. He's getting tired of it. But he does get treats, and it is fun for him sometimes. When he used to get T-Touch, when we were talking about T-Touch. Anyway, so we're talking about senior exercise. So one of the things to keep in mind with your senior dog, Tristan and I take a 2 to 3 mile walk nearly every day. Am I going to do that when he's really a senior? No. I mean, he's 9. He's not really a senior. He still runs and jumps. He's a little pudgy from the winter, but we're slimming down. And he's still been doing his 2 mile walks. But when I have a really old dog, what am I going to do? Am I going to take him for a 2 mile walk? No, especially a Corgi with these little legs. I'm going to take him for a couple of walks that might be half that length or even shorter. Lots of people just take them instead of twice around the block, once around the block. Excuse me. So better to get him out for several short walks during the day than one gigantic one when you've got a senior. And this may be a time when it's good to get a dog person to come in and walk your kid during the day if he's left home. Because as much as we think, oh, he's a senior, he can just lay around, you know, you've got that thing in mind, use it or lose it. If he's laying around all day, it's going to be even harder for him to get up and move at the end of the day. So you really want somebody to come and take him out, or you yourself can take him out for a little walk at lunchtime. And you can do him for a little walk at breakfast and a little walk in the evening, maybe a little bit longer walk in the evening. So that's a really important thing to do with your senior dogs. Another important thing, just like with humans, is to help them maintain their balance. So I advocate putting the front or back legs on a pillow. You don't need anything fancy for this, and stand them up. Tristan's like, what? And once they've got one end on the pillow, you just gently rock them like this, like you can hardly see it, but it's activating all the little muscles in his legs, and his abdominals are engaging to balance him. He's full of breakfast. He just burped. So just little rocks like this helps increase their balance. So once you've done the buns end on a pillow, put the front end on a pillow and do the same thing. And just, this is hard. You don't want to do this for an hour. You want to just, a little bit like I'm doing here, a couple times a day, maybe a little tad longer, and like literally 2 minutes, and do it even once a day, can make a big difference in their ability to keep their mobility up when they're old. You've got old injuries, you get compensatory gait patterns, and a lot of this little rocking can help decrease some of that compensatory gait pattern that happens, especially with the big dogs. So exercise is really, really critical. Make sure you get them outside. It's as good for their physical body as it is for their emotional and mental body. They need the stimulation of seeing the birds and the trees and the cat across the street and kids playing ball out in the field. I mean, get your old dog out and take him for rides in the car and Take him for walks with other dogs. Exercise is absolutely critical to happy aging for us and for dogs. And of course, dogs aren't going to sit down and do 14 leg lifts unless you're Topi the Corgi. He has a whole cute, really great exercise video based on human experiences in the gym. But you want to make sure he gets out and gets some walks, gets socialized. There are many places like my town. You can sit if you need to. My town has a place that's a big park, and they've got a sidewalk around it and a road around it. And a lot of senior humans walk around there. And it's pretty far. I think it's maybe a mile around. But it's a great place to walk a senior dog because it's pretty quiet. You can walk halfway and then turn around. There's not too much dog traffic there. That's another thing when you're exercising a senior dog. Dog traffic can be a problem. Your dog may have been fine with other dogs all his life, but now that he's a little sore and he's a little older, he might be nervous around other dogs. So try to minimize interaction with uncontrolled, younger, bouncy dogs that could hurt him. So it's up to you to keep him safe. And of course, if you've been going to the dog park for a million years and he's got some doggy friends there, certainly let him continue to play with them. If you are an older person yourself and the grandkids come over and throw the stick for 6 hours for the dog, not a good idea when they're a senior to have that kind of weekend warrior kind of exercise where they're just, relentlessly running. And a lot of Labradors will not stop chasing the stick. It's up to you to say, you know what, kids, we've had a good stick throw here for 5-10 minutes. Let's go in the house. Let's do something different, and maybe we'll throw the stick later. So you got to really think about all of that. And another important thing that we forget about with senior people and senior dogs is the warm-up for the exercise. So when you first go out for your walk, walking is your warm-up, but just don't go very fast. You might let him have an extra long sniffy or tinkle somewhere just to let him walk a little and rest a little and walk a little and rest a little. And if he's getting really old, like my mom's Schnauzer, she's at the state where you walk maybe 200 and 300 feet and then let her rest and then walk another 200 feet because she loves going out for walks. And she even tries to pull on her leash still, but she gets tired really fast because she is an old girl. So think about exercise for senior pets if you have a senior pet, and lots of us have younger pets, but don't forget that they do need exercise when they're older as well. Swimming can be also a good activity for a senior pet, but if your dog is not a swimmer and has not been swimming his whole life, age 14 or 13 is not when you start taking him to the beach or throwing him into a doggy swimming area. That's really hard on them for their cardiac health. You might be able to condition them with the walking to get them ready for swimming when they're old. And swimming is great for old joints, certainly at the beach with gentle swimming in the salt water that makes them more buoyant. You might want to look at getting a doggy life jacket, in fact, if you're taking them to the beach and they're seniors, because they might not be as strong and they might get tired more easily, and the life jacket just makes them float a little better so that they can get around in the water. But with all my old dogs, taking them to the beach is as rejuvenative for them as it is for me. And some of them just lay in the water and just let the waves come back and forth over them, and they just love it. So, and of course, you don't want to develop any kind of skin infection when they're older, so make sure you wash them thoroughly when they've been laying in the water for 10 minutes. And remember, too, when they're older, they don't always regulate body temperature as well, so you might need a little doggy blanket when you're taking them for walks outside, or if you're going to the beach, make sure they're really dry and warm. You might need a spare dry towel to wrap around them when they're still moist if it's not really hot, so that they don't get cold. And to that end, make sure you have plenty of water for senior dogs as well when you're exercising them, particularly at the beach or on a long walk, or if you're away from home, bring water, because you never know where there's going to be water at the dog park or on the trail or the place where I go to walk. That's got a mile walk around. It's a great place because there's no ticks there in the summer. I always bring water when I go on that walk because there's no place for the dog to get water on the way. And if I had a senior dog, which may tend to overheat more easily, he would really need that water somewhere midway on the walk. Right, Biss? And they make such great little water bottle things with a little like bowl that folds up on it, and you can just fold it down and carry water that way, or you can get one of the portable water bowls and carry a bottle of water the way you normally would for yourself, and then you and your dog can share that. So these are just some things to think about when you're exercising with senior dogs. And don't forget that they need exercise. So I will be at my educator job Monday and Tuesday this week. And we will be back Wednesday. No, we're at our educator job Monday and Wednesday this week. So we may be here on Tuesday. I think I'm doing something on Tuesday. I feel like Tuesday's a full day. Certainly Thursday we'll be back, and maybe Tuesday. What do you think, Tris? What's this on your nose? Icky. So worried about ticks at this time of year. And I have to remind you about the Kin and Kind spray that my sister has on her website for tick repellent. That stuff works great. I've had 2 on me, and he hasn't had any on him since I sprayed him with it. So we can talk more about ticks another time, because it's the time of year when we're all really getting concerned about them. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you soon. Everybody have a great day and enjoy the warm weather if you have it where you are.